Your bike is a great way to get around. It's fun and efficient, but be safe with it. In this series, we'll explain safety and the law for bikes and cars. After all, safety is a two-way street. Rule number 1, go with the flow. Ride in the road in the same direction as traffic. Follow the same rules you would if you were driving, like obeying stop signs and traffic lights. Act like a car, but remember, you don't have the same protection a car does. A big vulnerability is your visibility to motorists. Be aware, you're harder to see. Up next, how to take and use the full lane. So, as a rider, how do you safely become part of the traffic flow? Take the lane, follow the rules, and be visible and predictable to drivers. The Ohio Revised Code says that bikes should ride as near to the right side of the road as long as it's practicable, obeying the same rules as cars and using care when passing a stopped car. The key word here is practicable. Keep to the right as long as it's safe. When there's one lane of traffic in your direction, don't crowd the curb. This lets cars pass you unsafely. The road is yours too. Take your place in the center of the lane and maintain your position. This is the safest place to ride. You're in a good position to turn right and not dangerously close to parked cars. And you're on the best riding surface. You need to be focused on the traffic around you as much as the road beneath you. Another reason to take the lane. Claim the curb lane when there are 2 lanes of traffic in your direction also. Cars can use the left lane to pass you. You'll take the left lane or possibly a crosswalk when making a left turn. We'll talk about this later. When you're driving near a cyclist, remember, we're all in this together. Share the road. We'll all be safe and get there in one piece. By law, bike riders may take the lane for their safety, and the law requires that motorists leave 3 feet of passing distance between bikes and cars. To pass a bike, change lanes if you have that option on a 2-lane road, and, as long as it's safe, you can cross a double yellow line to pass a slow-moving vehicle. When you're about to make a right-hand turn, don't cut off the cyclist. Merge behind the rider, then take your turn. Remember, bikes are vehicles too. Treat them like that at a 4-way stop and watch for bikes making left-hand turns. Another tip, when opening your door, use the Dutch reach. By reaching across your body, you'll see the road behind you and any approaching vehicles over your shoulder, including cyclists. Your bike is a great way to get around. It's fun and efficient. And one of the best ways you can be safe with it is to know and use proper hand signals to indicate your intended movements. Remember, you want to be visible and predictable. Signal a right-hand turn with the left arm extended out and bent at the elbow, pointing up. You can also extend your right arm straight out. Likewise, you extend your left arm straight out to indicate a left-hand turn. To signal motorists and your fellow riders that you're slowing down, extend your left arm down, palm backward. And to let your fellow riders know there's a pothole or other hazard, point your left hand at the hazard. In our next segment, we'll put these signals to use and safely navigate intersections and roundabouts. Earlier, we looked at how to safely enter the traffic flow. Now, let's look at how to safely navigate intersections and roundabouts. The same advice applies. Take the lane, follow the rules, and be visible and predictable to drivers by using your hand signals. Like a car, ride your bike in the lane that serves your destination. So, to turn left, get into the left lane using your hand signals and mirrors to check for traffic. When the lane is clear, take it. Remember, bikes are vehicles too, so follow the same law as a motorist does. But if there's too much traffic to safely take the left turn lane, or if traffic is moving too fast to safely turn left, use a pedestrian crosswalk. But don't ride through the crosswalk. Get off your bike and walk it across the intersection. Use the signals for pedestrians. Wait for the walk signal and pay attention to traffic patterns. Who has a red light and who has the green. Left-hand turns are situations where it's essential that drivers see you and know your intentions. Make eye contact with oncoming traffic. and make sure you've been seen and acknowledged by approaching motorists. For right-hand turns, stay in your lane, signal your turn, and check your mirrors to make sure motorists know you're slowing. Then, take your turn. If there's a bike lane present, some riders will move into the main traffic lane before turning right. This can prevent cars from turning in front of you. Some riders also make this shift while going straight through an intersection. The good news about roundabouts is that everybody is going slowly and staying in their lane. They're safe places to ride. Just act like a car. Choose the center of the lane you need when you enter the roundabout and exit on the right at your specific exit. We've mentioned this here before. When you're driving near a cyclist, remember, we're all in this together. Share the road. We'll all be safe and get there in one piece. Know the hand signals a bike rider uses. This means they're turning left. Both of these mean they're turning right, and this means they're slowing down. Treat bikes like small cars, but remember, they don't have the protection of a small car. The Ohio Revised Code requires 3 feet of passing distance between a bike and an overtaking car. Right-hand turns may seem simple for cars, but can be dangerous to bikes. When you're preparing to turn right, don't cut off the cyclist. Merge behind them, then take your turn. Treat cyclists like any other vehicle at stoplights and stop signs. Yield the right-of-way as appropriate for the circumstances. It's polite to nod or wave. This shows you're aware and following the rules. And bike riders, you have difficult situations that cars may not, like when a bike lane suddenly ends. You'll need to merge with the primary traffic flow, sometimes without adequate notice. Always be prepared, look behind you, and signal your intention to merge. When riding past parked cars, keep an adequate distance to avoid an opening door. And finally, remember to always be visible and be predictable in all situations. When we talk about safe cycling, we're really talking about confidence. You want to feel confident while on the bike and on the road. So start out by making sure your equipment is complete, safe, and legal. Always, always, always wear a helmet. Even on a side path or trail, you could slip on gravel or ice. Your helmet makes this a minor accident. And consider a mirror attached to your helmet or handlebars. Yes, you should know how to turn and look behind you, but a mirror is a great, inexpensive extra safety device. Be visible. This means having lights on the front and back and reflectors on both sides of your bike, as well as front and back. Actually, the law requires you to have a white light on the front and a red reflector on the back of your bike when riding in the rain and after sunset. Your white front light needs to be visible 500 feet forward and 300 feet to both sides. If you have a red lamp on the back, visible at up to 500 feet, which also serves as a reflector, you don't need both a lamp and reflector. The lights are beneficial during daytime as well. You should also consider a reflective vest or bright clothing. Some people who ride in hilly areas or use a recumbent bike also use a bike flag. Be visible. Okay, so we've got the gear. Now let's make sure the bike is roadworthy. It's as easy as ABC. Quick, check. A is for air. Most tires need to be inflated somewhere around 40 psi, but check your bike tire specs. They're embossed on the sidewalls. B is for brakes, and C is for chains. Make sure the brakes are even and tight, and that everything is moving freely. Quick is for quick releases. Some bikes have them on the seats and wheels. And check means take a short, slow ride before tearing off to make sure everything is working and working together.